So, this is the office of Prosecutor Asogi now, is it? Kazuma-sama's doing so well for himself. Even though he's always forced to kneel on the floor Japanese style in that dark corner. It's his habit to sit Seiza style whenever he's working. Kazuma. Ryunosuke. I thought it would be long before you paid me a visit, Ryunosuke. I was right about what I said, wasn't I? Sorry? That you have all the makings of a great defense lawyer. Well, I always believed that you'd fulfill your dream of advocating in the British courts. I just never imagined for 1 second that it would be as a prosecutor. Seeing you stand in a foreign courtroom so gallantly, realizing your dream, Kazuma-sama, I'm truly happy for you. And I am truly thankful to you, Judicial Assistant Mikotoba. But I haven't done anything. Ryunosuke, I always thought it would be fun for you and I to shake up the British legal system a little together. It was not fun at all. This isn't quite how I envisaged it, but I suppose it's just another twist of fate. I've learned a lot of things during my time in London. About how Susato's son's father was himself a visiting student here once, along with Judge Jikoku. And about what happened with your father. Then you'll have no difficulty understanding why I had no choice. Why I had to find a way to get to Britain as a visiting student myself. I want to hear it from you, Kazuma. As you wish, Ryunosuke Naruto. Talk to me like one of your French girls. What?
You want this back?
Yeah, you want this back? Kazuma, this is your armband. Dots? Actually, I think it's yours now. Sorry?
I was just told to get it fucking back to you.
You're the defense lawyer. You have a talent for it. I've always known that you would. And now you've chosen to take that path in life. As your friend, I couldn't be happier for you. We're friends still? Nope.
Friends?
Kazuma. So you keep hold of that. Besides, I'm a prosecutor now. That armband would have no meaning for me. I would just throw it away in the trash can. Well, if you're sure... Thank you, my friend.
Present the papers.
Oh, shit.
That's why we took them.
What do you make of this? There's only one place where defense lawyers and prosecutors should have been... Astrid! She's like, where'd everybody go? It's getting on for a year now, since what happened on the SS Buria. We were heading across the oceans from Japan to Great Britain. When a bizarre series of coincidences? Uh-oh. Game's got a couple typos, it seems. I thought I'd lost my best friend forever.
Think how surprised I was when I woke up.
I might have been unconscious for a long time. I must have been unconscious for a long time. When I woke, I was lying on a bed.
Well, you should get your head checked out, because if you're unconscious for more than 5 minutes, you have some brain damage.
It was a narrow little room. There was a posy of flowers by the pillow. It took me a while to realize that I was in the cabin of a ship. I slipped out of the room and... Hi, Nathan. Headed up to the deck.
Who's Nathan? Are you cheating on me? Ryunosuke.
We were already suffering from amnesia at that point. Yes, I didn't know what had happened or where I was. It was just this voice in my head. You have something you have to do, something no one else can know about. Me. with ADHD every minute of my life. Go to Great Britain. Your task awaits you there.
Still with me with ADHD every moment of my life.
Why do I need to go to Britain? My brain. Do it. But
Do it
why?
for the
Do it.
I've already licked the bell.
I have to lick every monument now. It was a calling I couldn't ignore. It compelled me.
Next bell.
I need to lick every bell. Out on deck, I saw that I was on a huge steamship and we were docked in a large port. It must have been Hong Kong. It must have been. Presumably just before they were due to carry your body off the ship. I had no idea of the situation, but I did have the feeling that this was in some way my last chance. I had a feeling that this was Great Britain. And then I got off and
Realized it wasn't.
realized it wasn't. So I concealed myself among the disembarking passengers and went ashore. Then I disappeared into the crowded streets of that foreign port city, so I could plan my onward journey to Great Britain. You know, if you just stayed on the boat, you'd have gotten to Britain.
Bastard.
Shit. Really?
I didn't know that boat was going to Britain.
Just under a year ago, with all my past memories lost to me, I was left behind in Hong Kong. Everything was foreign to me. The sights, the sounds, the smells, the language, people. My head reeled. I was truly at a loss. I realize now that I had escaped as a dead man, with nothing but the clothes on my back. No money, of course.
I had to sell myself.
Oh, how terrifying for you. Would you like to make some extra money? Luckily, though, slaps her away. Luckily, though, I had 2 feathers in my cap. One being your knowledge of English, I suppose. That's right. Everyone knows that they speak English in China. And on the back of that, I was able to pick up some work as a deckhand on a cargo ship. Eventually, after calling at countless ports, I finally arrived at Dover. That must have been some 3 months ago now. Your formidable tenacity of purpose showing itself again. I mean, the man had lost his memory and had literally nothing to his name, but he still managed to make his way to London on the opposite side of the world. Of course, I had no idea why I'd moved heaven and earth to get here at that point. So how did you end up becoming Lord Van Ziek's apprentice, then? That can only cause an extraordinary stroke of luck, really.
It was not. Someone was looking for you.
You see, I was stroking someone's luck. That's a slang term for penis. When it happened to be Lord Van Ziek's. What? You see, I was stopped at the border because I had no papers. They took me straight to Scotland Yard, and by sheer coincidence, Lord Stronghart was there to attend a meeting. That's when the second feather in my cap came into play. Would that have been your knowledge of the law? Yes, exactly. Lord Stronghart was curious about an Easterner with intimate knowledge of British law. He took me back with him to the Supreme Court and assigned me to the prosecutor's office. And then 9 days ago... You finally got your memory back after the trial involving Drebber. Yes, I did.
How long do we want to play until we get to court?
Yeah, I think so.
Father.
Ever since I first met you at Yume, you talked about your dream. Mark my words, Ryunosuke. I'll be chosen as a visiting student and make my way to Great Britain someday. Believe it, Hokage. I don't recall those last 3 words. Did you know about know the entire time about what happened to your father here? 16 years ago.
He's a wee baby!
Wee baby! When my father left on that exciting trip to Great Britain, I was just a boy. We took a photograph together the day before his departure. It's my last memory of him. But what I remember most about my father is his unswerving sense of justice. 6 years after he left, a gentleman called at our family home. He told me that Genshin, my father, had been taken ill in England and passed away. It was Professor Mikotoba, your father, Susato-san. Astrid, we're down here!
Pat
else do you want me with that? Oh my. Ever since then, the professor was very good to me. He even helped to fund my university education at UMA. I'll be forever in his debt.
Oh, so I own you.
So, what, no? Nevertheless, I just couldn't bring myself to believe what he told me. Oh. Then one day, a letter arrived at our house from Britain. There was no indication of the sender, so I opened it, assuming it was from an old acquaintance of my father. Dots. What I read in that letter changed my entire life. Hi, Astrid.
Hey, baby.
What did it say?
It was just a drawing of a penis.
It was a drawing of a penis, and I thought, that's not something a boy should be looking at. Then I realized I wasn't a boy. I was a man. Come here, Astrid. Come here.
She's so confused.
She's like, well, you shouldn't have joined at case 4 of the second game, then. You getting introduced to the plot now is just going to be really confusing.
We didn't have a chair down here for me.
It said that my father had been a mass murderer, and the writer cursed the Asogi name. Oh no! As a result of that letter, I found out what had been hidden from me all those years.
Did he send the letter?
It's a drawing of my penis. Mwahahahaha. Presumably the letter was sent from a relative of one of the victims. If whoever it was had been a member of the judiciary, he could have been present at the closed trial. The letter revealed that my father had been sentenced to death, executed for being a killer. I'm so sorry you had to find out that way. I imagine the British government did its very best to silence whoever sent that letter. But someone who knew the truth and couldn't bear the resentment was always going to be a problem. But still, it could have been written by anyone. Why would you believe such a thing? There was a newspaper cutting included with the letter. It was the first I'd ever heard of the professor and his terrible killing spree. Just imagine an alternate history where he received the letter and it's like, this is all written in English. I can't understand any of it. He just crumbles it up, throws it away. It was the first I'd ever heard of the professor and his terrible killing spree. Well, what did my father have to say about the letter? I never showed him. What? Why not? Because he deliberately concealed the truth from me by telling me my father was taken by a fatal illness. That couldn't have been easy for him, and he'd done it out of consideration for my feelings. So instead, I showed the letter to Judge Shikuquaza, to the other visiting student. He faltered for the briefest of moments, but then he just laughed the letter off. But in that moment, I saw it on his face. He was undeniably shocked. Shaken.
Oh, so maybe that's what Judge Shikuquaza was doing. He's trying to find the writer.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be called as a witness at some point. Ah! A year later, my bereaved mother succumbed to the strain of grief, and she too passed away. That's when I made up my mind that one day, without fail, I would cross the seas to Britain and seek the truth for myself. The truth about my father, Genshin Asogi. And I wouldn't let anyone stand in my way. Oh, Kazuma-sama. What we learned today in court turned things completely on their head. It was an impressive piece of lawyering, Ryunosuke Naruto. Lord Van Zieks isn't the Reaper, you know. I almost don't want to believe it myself, but it turns out that Inspector Gregson himself, the victim, was. It's clear that the Inspector was behind the Reaper's activity all along. Well, you mean you knew? The real question is, who's been giving orders to the Inspector? Dots. Yes, Beric Van Zieks is the real Reaper. And I know that 10 years ago, it was him who decided my father must be a mass murderer and sent him to his grave. No! He was merely seeing that justice was done as the law dictates. He's not to blame. Ultimately, it's people who condemn people. The law is just a tool that they use to do it.
That's actually a good quote.
No, it's not. Law is the weapon used to condemn people. Yeah, that's what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a weapon, it's just...
The law.
The law. Come back. When a man condemns another, he must take responsibility for his actions. Of course he must. But I know for certain that my father would never have taken another man's life. Kazuma... On the contrary, my father's life was taken by the Reaper. Is that it? What now? Are you sure we've asked everything we need to? Oh shit, we could probably show him the Asogi papers, huh?
We tried and he said,
Right, okay, never mind.
The picture! Show him the picture!
Look at the picture we took together!
Look, I have a gun!
Oh, I guess we probably should examine stuff. I always forget we can do this. I have a gun, Kazuma! What the? Scale model of the crime scene, obviously. Oh, yeah, I realized that. Does the prosecution office make a model of the scene for every case? Yes. Did you make this model, Kazuma? Yeah.
Do you like it?
Do you like it? Sometimes it helps to visualize things better and notice things you hadn't spotted before. Actually, the miniature notice board is my work. Be honest, you enjoyed making that. Aha! Aha! Do you know who the man in the portrait is? Why would I? What? But you're Lord Van Zeek's apprentice. Yeah, and we didn't talk to each other.
Not friend.
Not friend. During the time I was suffering from amnesia, I didn't even notice the picture. Oh, really? I mean, it's not the smallest picture. I wouldn't have the first idea what the man decorates his office with.
His brother? Or is that his papa?
I imagine it's his brother. There's Lord Van Zeek's incredibly stylish desk. It's not my style, though. No, I notice you've been working at the little table at the floor, kneeling down Seiza style. I thought it was some kind of punishment set up by Lord Van Zeek's when I first saw it. Oh, it was. I find it the most comfortable way to work. I can't do it. After a couple of minutes of sitting with my legs folded under me, they start to go tingly.
I can't imagine it. This is best friend.
No, I'm saving this for out of context. We don't exaggerate, Rinosuke. We both know you can't even manage a minute. That's why I'm on top. You don't have the stamina. Lord Van Zeek's fine collection of hollow chalices and bottles, all neatly lined up. We can save him the trouble right now. We can just knock it all over.
No, I must do it in court.
Nah. Just like Van Zeek's in prison, just... What's happening? No. Let me out. No.
Breaks out, jumps through the
No.
window.
Something is happening. I need to put a stop to it. Let me out right now. No. Just shaking the bars violently.
The next time we go and see him, he grabs us by the throat.
What did you do? He's extremely particular about all that. He has a strict regime for everything, from the storage of the cask to the bottling of their contents. Golly, you must be having a really tough time of it, being his apprentice. He's an alcoholic, so yes.
Actually, no.
He's so particular about it all, he refuses to let anybody else touch any of it.
Oh, he has OCD.
Does that surprise you? It's not, so it's been quite easy for me, in fact. Talk about weird. Ew, mental illness is weird. Ew.
That's gonna be our proof.
No.
He couldn't have been doing it because it was at this exact time, because his OCD makes him do this exact activity at this exact time.
Game is not that smart. There's literal bats in this room, I just noticed.
Oh my god!
Hollowed barrels, I suppose. Yes, you should see what he does to them after they're empty. They're arranged according to vintage, flavor, and region. That's 3 different things. You can't arrange by 3 different categories. Only 2. Every week, they're all taken out and put back in order. I guess maybe we might be onto something with his OCD. What? Every week? Lord Van Zieks can't seem to settle on the perfect way to arrange them. Ah!
So he doesn't have OCD,
Mood.
it's ADHD.
Mood. Vintage, flavor, and region don't neatly coincide. That's the trouble. Golly, being his apprentice must be a real challenge. Actually, yes. Oh? He considers the task too important to entrust to anybody else, so he does it entirely on his own. Just imagine fucking Twig Arm Van Zieks hefting entire casks of wine onto the floor every fucking Sunday. He's like, just without his memory, Cosma. What are you doing, sir? Rearranging it. Why? Because it's wrong! What?
No,
wrong!
He
He just
like
fucking chucks one out the
swole.
window. Yeah, that's how he gets so strong, because he fucking lifts. Yeah, just fucking Van Zieks takes his shirt off. He just has a fucking... His biceps are bulging.
So he's a barrel of laughs here and in the court.
Ha ha ha.
There are bats!
Look, it's fucking bats. Ah! Wow. You disturbed the bats, didn't you? Fitting companions of Lord Van Zieks, wouldn't you say? Actually, I've seen things flying in Lord Strongheart's office too. Doves, I think. Perhaps you have to like birds to attain rank in the judiciary here. Although bats aren't birds, of course. What the fuck are you talking about, Kazuma? How about a sparrow for you?
A sparrow.
What's that supposed to mean? Oh, nothing? Sorry. I'm just thinking out loud. Okay, so we didn't find anything. It's
Can't give him anything.
still definitely something here.
Anything on the floor?
I doubt it.
No, there's no more. It would tell you if there was more questions.
Yeah. So it's gotta be something for them, but we got like fucking 3 pages of stuff, so I have no idea where to start looking.
Oh, the notice
yeah,
board says
notice
he
board.
worked.
What would make sense to show him? He keeps telling us not to discuss evidence too, so I'm just like wondering if this is even correct.
I don't think it would be something to show me. We might have to
Oh, there we go. I found it. This came up in the trial, didn't it? As something a little dubious. I mean, the fact that no time of death was recorded on Inspector Gregson's autopsy report. Yes, there were some. Oh yeah, because we still need to go talk to Scythe's daughter. There were some unexpected turns in the courtroom earlier. The suggestion you came up with certainly took everyone by surprise. The idea that the victim died the previous day at some other location is quite something. Well, considering when the pocket watch had stopped and the scorch marks on the candle, it's certainly a distinct possibility. The evidence and the scene both point to it. To be honest, it bothered me too. So I paid a visit to the autopsy room earlier. The coroner responsible wasn't there, but I got a name. It's Dr. Gory. If it wouldn't trouble you, Kazuma-sama, we'd very much like to speak with the coroner, too. Of course. The last thing I want is for anything to be brushed under the carpet. Scotland Yard's autopsy laboratory is behind Lowgate Cemetery. So yeah, by Barclay Prison, you mean? You know it, do you? It's almost like it's all just connected, huh? The prison where my father was incarcerated and robbed of his life. Oh, you're still on that? Kazuma-sama. Well, thank you. We'll pay a visit to the laboratory later today. Why not do it right now? Get out of my fucking face. Ryunosuke. I want to thank you. What for? Giving my sword back. You safeguarded the soul of the Asogi clan. Well, it is a famous sword that's been in your family for generations. My only slight regret is I never got the chance to draw it before I returned it to you. Karoma is said to have been forged by a master swordsmith during the Sengoku Warring States period. I come from a long lineage of warriors, many of whom were expert swordsmen. Well then, you're a chip off the old block, I'd say. This blade, Karoma, is the symbol of the Asogi clan's honor and might.
Why are you waving it in my face?
I thought you liked it when I waved swords in your face.
Not
Apparently,
ones that can actually kill me.
he just raises an eyebrow. Keep that in mind. Apparently, one of my father's apprentices even took the blade's name for a surname. Really, Karuma. It does sound formidable, that's for sure. 16 years ago, when my father was a visiting student here in London, he had this sword forever at his side. Which is why it means so much to me that I have it by my side again now, too. And that is all thanks to you. It was an honor. Alright, get out.
Get the fuck out.
Now, I have preparations to make for tomorrow. Perhaps I said a little too much. Kazuma, you've changed. Again.
Yeah, I had a head injury. What do you expect?
No, Ryunosuke, I haven't changed at all. It's you who's changed. No, it's Susato who's changed. What?
How'd you know?
I can completely understand your resentment of Lord Van Zeeks given what happened. But the fact is, those events in this case are, well, unrelated? Is that what you want to say? How can you be so sure? What do you mean? Never mind. That man is the Reaper, and it's for that reason that the Inspector was killed. I'm going to prove as much in court tomorrow. By whatever means necessary. You're gonna kill him? I'm gonna kill him. I can't let you do that, Kazuma. Stop making my... Stop deflating my hate boner. I know what you'll do. I know you'll do what you have to as a lawyer. But I'm sure I don't need to tell you that I won't be taking any prisoners at the courtroom. Again, I am going to kill him. I am stating that explicitly and intricately. I would expect nothing less. Until tomorrow, then, in the Old Bailey, we shall have our final showdown. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here.
This has all been a test to see who tops. Who truly tops.
And it was not a success for me.